Okay, so I want to talk to you about working with a financial advisor versus planning your finances on your own or working on your own. Let's talk about pros and cons of having an advisor or taking advice, receiving advice from someone with regards to not just your finances, but your health, your well-being, relationships, construction, work, hobbies, whatever it is that you may need help or advice with, getting that advice. So I want to talk to you about that. So when it comes to finances, and generally speaking, a lot of things, not just finances, but a lot of different things, people tend to just wing it. They wing it and go on their own. Most people don't use a plan. They don't work with a planner. They don't work with a guide. Usually it's like some type of freestyling, and winging it and kind of seeing where we end up, how we maneuver and manage from that point on, whatever that point may be. So I think there are some pros and cons when it comes to working with a professional advisor in any discipline, whatever the discipline may be. I'm just talking about finances because finance is what happens to be of interest to me. So it could be different for you, it could be different for somebody else that you know. So for finances, you can go buy, everybody has to work, everybody has a job, so you're going to be, most likely you're going to be working unless you're born wealthy with wealth in your zone. Chances are you're probably going to be working some type of job for an income. So that's the first part. So when you get that income, obviously you're going to have expenses, monthly expenses, weekly expenses, yearly expenses, and depending on how far your outlook is, what your range is, and how far out you look, like a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan, or like a retirement plan. So depending on how you plan for those things. Yeah, and so two types of people. One person works off of a plan, and the other person just kind of wings it, handles and deals with everything as they go through events. So I think both ways could work. If you're the type of person who can maneuver well, who can adjust well, and adapt to the event and the challenges around you, and defeat those obstacles, then if that's your style, then you should continue doing that. If you're the type of person who needs a plan, who needs to work with a plan, who needs to see numbers, who needs to see step-by-step guidance, who needs to have that concrete schedule and action plan in front of them, then you should work with that. So everybody's personality and mindsets work differently. Obviously, the way you respond to things, your responses are different between individuals. So you're just going to want to work with however way your makeup works best. So for me, I'm the type where I can maneuver, but I prefer to have a concrete plan. I prefer to have a map and that guidance next to me. I prefer that to have the guidance with me and that counsel and the advisors. So that's just like how I like to work. It may not be your style. It could be somebody else's style. That's my style. And so as an example, so for like gym, health and fitness, I'm a big health and fitness person. I believe that you should try and be healthy. It's a good habit. I just happen to like it as a habit and as a hobby. And it's what I like to do. So for health and fitness, as an example, different from finances, because that one's a little bit more complicated a topic. So less complex is health and fitness is straightforward. You're on a plan, you're exercising, you're eating well, you're sleeping well, you're taking in nutrition that contributes to your health, and then you're just building a routine and getting into the habit of doing it week by week or month by month, whatever it is. So it doesn't have to be just workout like lifting weights like most men do. Women actually don't like, some women aren't into that as much. They prefer doing like a lighter type of exercise. So it's like, could be like yoga, Pilates, just walking in nature, meditating in nature, meditative sessions, finding your omega, or getting into that omega energy, getting into your Zen mode. So Zen mode is another way to think about it. But that can be all types of things. So for some people, they like staying in their house and working with the personal trainer through videos, like training sessions through videos. Training models, you have a whole bunch of business equipment, business models that are coming out now where they're specializing in helping a customer work from their house, from their own personal zone. Then you have others where some people feel the need to go into the building to see others, to be with them physically, be in a presence, to have that personal connection. So it really depends on what is best for you, and everyone's different. But for me, I like to work with a concrete plan, map it out, think about all the steps and everything that's included in the picture, draw it out, and then go step by step and measure where I am, where I was, and where I'm going. That's how I like to do it. But for other people, like a friend of mine, a good buddy of mine, and some other buddies of mine, they just like to maneuver, to adapt, face the situation, face the event, build new attributes, and then just work on based on dates and maneuver according to that. So I would recommend finding what works best for you. If you're facing really difficult challenges, then it's probably a good idea to go work with an advisor, or work with a counselor, or work with some type of guidance, or a person, or people who can really support you in getting through the challenges that you have.